And we welcome you to Ames, Iowa from Hilton Coliseum. Big 12 basketball coming your way. Number 13, Iowa State, playing host to the Baylor Bears. Another packed house here at Hilton. As per usual, you talk about one of the best home court advantages in all of college basketball, certainly in the Big 12. John Sciambi, Fran Fraschilla with you. And Fran, Iowa State, they won 30 of their last 31 here at home.
But at practice yesterday, they were quite aware that Baylor was the only team last season in the Big 12 to beat them twice.
Yeah, beat them here, of course, in February, and Baylor tries to pick up a road win. They'll have their hands full, though, with one of the top players really in the entire country, a first-team All-America candidate in George Niang.
And coming off a game on Wednesday night versus Texas Tech where he did not score in the first half, he was saddled with 3 fouls, battled back with 14 in the second half.
Baylor in the green, Iowa State in the white, and ready to roll here at Hilton. Everybody on their feet. And Baylor wins the tip. Bears control.
One thing you want to look for, John, in this game on offense for Baylor is can they pound the ball inside versus an Iowa State front line that does not have a lot of depth.
Yeah, by percentage among power conference teams, they get the highest amount of points in the paint. Shot clock under 10. And here's Prince. Clock winding down towards the basket. That didn't hit the rim, and a shot clock violation.
Good half-court possession for Steve Prohm's club, the first-year head coach.
Of course, came over to replace Fred Hoiberg, 20th head coach in Iowa State history, as Hoiberg moved on to the Chicago Bulls. Prohm 4 years as a head coach at Murray State, made the NCAA tournament, winning percentage over 700 there.
John, when you watch Baylor's defense, they play more man-to-man this year than they have in the past. 60% of their possessions man-to-man. But the zone was so effective last year versus Iowa State, they're electing to open in it today.
Why the change this year in terms of going more man?
I don't think they have the length on the front line that they've had in the past, which made this zone so good. And this guy, Nader, he's a guy that has to get going. He's struggled lately with his outside shooting.
Hit the winning shot on the road, 11 seconds to go at Cincinnati, and a huge road win. But as you mentioned, he has been inconsistent, so he opens the scoring. And now Medford on the baseline, now probing, looking for some help. Shot clock under 10. Inside, and Prince off the mark. McKay the board, and they're doing a good job defensively early.
They have kept the green jerseys with the ball out of the paint. Excellent job early. I would go at Niang on defense and make him guard, getting that foul trouble the other day.
McKay, a wide open look inside, couldn't hit. Here's Wainwright, full head of steam, lays it in.
This young man's a junior. He's gotten himself into very good condition and is a good, solid all-around player.
Nader inside, puts in his own miss, and Iowa State back on top.
Niang guarding Ish Wainwright. Given the fact that George said after the game, I've got to stay out of foul trouble, I would go at him because I don't think he's going to give you the defensive resistance that someone normally would.
Niang finished with 14 in the win against Texas Tech Wednesday, but foul trouble limited him in that first half, didn't score.
See, going at him means driving him, not shooting that jump shot.
Great look inside, McKay, and the bucket. One of the things Niang does so well, and that is pass the ball for a big man.
How about, John, the consistency of Jameel McKay this year on both ends of the floor?
Gathers lost the handle. Kick up Morris. Thomas. And two more. Timeout Baylor. Iowa State out to the early 8-2 lead, and Fran George Niang, not just a guy who's going to score and rebound, also distributes.
Now, hard to find a more complete offensive player in the country. We've seen it all from him, John. Nice finish inside. And Jameel McKay is a guy that has not gotten the attention nationally maybe that he deserves See the pass there, Matt Thomas finishing. But we know how good an offensive player is George Niang, and part of that package is the passing ability.
After the give off as Motley is checked in.
Yeah, I like it. I think you got to go at Niang.
Gathers against McKay and a travel. They get Rico Gathers for the turnover. Third on Baylor here in the early going.
And Jameel McKay told us yesterday at practice that playing Baylor is like being in a wrestling match, and you saw a good example on that possession. Gathers shuffled the feet, but he got deep position.
And he is undersized in terms of weight class against Rico
He
Gathers.
is. Considerably.
As most are. Niang trying to thread the needle towards Nader in the corner, and it was deflected out of bounds.
The way Matt Thomas has played lately, John, and he's been sensational. If Nader can get going offensively, then you have 5 guys on the floor that can really hurt you on the offensive end. That's a travel.
And McKay with 2. Yeah, Matt Thomas coming off a 22-point performance against Texas Tech. He was one of the reasons they were able to weather that storm when Niang wasn't productive.
Playing the best basketball of his career, the junior from Onalaska, Wisconsin. This could be another turnover.
I think that was off of Prince's leg, and it'll be Iowa State basketball. That's our under-16 timeout. Cyclones at home, and they lead it by 8.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Buick, proud partner of the NCAA.
Iowa State leading at 10-2 here in the early going. John Shelby, Fran Fraschilla. Iowa State, one of the hallmarks of their success, efficiency on the offensive end. It's a team that doesn't turn the basketball over, and they score it at a high percentage.
And what you like about this team, and it's been true of the Fred Hoiberg era, now Steve Prohm taking over, lots of balance, John. You got 6 different guys on the roster that have already scored 20 points in a game. We've highlighted that Matt Thomas has been red hot. I mentioned Abdul Nader. He's 5 of his last 27 from the 3-point line, and he's a much better shooter than that. He's the one guy that can certainly use catching fire because he's such a versatile player.
Terry Maston checking into the game for Baylor. 8-0 Iowa State run.
They really haven't had to see the zone very much because of the Baylor turnovers.
This is Morris, kicks out. Thomas open 3. And then tipped out by Nader.
Smart play by design.
And Morris able to hit. They're going to call that a 2. Monte Morris averaging just under 14 points a game.
Really subtle little screen by Niang. Got Morris free at about 15 feet.
Motley lost the handle and then flips it up. Niang pulls down the board. George averages about 7 boards a game.
You play Baylor, you got to play through the middle and then along the baseline because the forwards come out so high. They'd like to find Niang open because he's a playmaker.
Off the mark as he tried to dial long distance, and here is Prince. That one in and out, and eventually Morris comes away with it. He's going 1-on-3, and now pulls it back out. Nader, his triple won't go. Fran, where do you want to see Iowa or Baylor go in this spot?
I think you got to play inside.
Well, Motley from outside knocks it down. The big guy with the jumper.
And he is effective coming off the bench, John. He's averaging double figures. He posted Niang a couple of plays ago. I would make that a hallmark of their offense in the first half.
Morris, here's a 3. Aston boards, and now Al Freeman. And they get the foul on Jameel McKay. So that'll be his first.
Jameel McKay's got to know with Maston posting up 7-8 feet off the lane Do not reach. Just play behind him. Young Terry Maston at a DeSoto High School right outside of Dallas. He was a high school teammate of Matt Jones, now starting at Duke. Plays for one of the great high school coaches in Texas, Chris Dyer. You know his uncles are?
Yeah, the Batiste, Tony and Derek.
Yeah.
And Tony could jump through the roof at Texas Tech, and then Derek was
solid at Temple for John Chaney.
Absolutely.
I recruited Tony Batiste when he was 6'5".
Out of bounds, and that will go to Iowa State. When you were in Manhattan.
Yeah, and then he grew. Grew 4 inches, and that was it.
And that was that?
Of course, he played a long time in the NBA. And their nephew, Terry Maston, is starting to become a good, solid piece of Scott Drew's puzzle.
Maston just a sophomore, as Nader will grab a seat. Neither of these teams especially deep. Now, Iowa State, Hallis Cook's in the game, so's Deontay Burton. They basically play 7, sometimes 8, and especially now no Nazmi Trulong. And there's the feed, and there's Burton.
You expect the lob to McKay, but don't forget the 6'4" Burton not only jumps out of the gym, he's got a 7-foot wingspan. He has been an energizer for the Cyclones since he got his eligibility in mid-December. Nice.
Good seal inside, and Motley +1 will go to the line.
Perfect high-low right there. Motley got the defender on the outside. They hit the high post, and Maston with a nice delivery inside.
Foul on Burton, his first. And now Motley to the line. This is a guy that a season ago started every game. Now he's coming off the bench. What's that like as a coach to ask somebody to do that?
Well, he's still playing 17 minutes a game, John. They've got depth up front, but I don't think it bothers him.
Wow.
That's
Hallis Cook, the Oregon State transfer. That's what he does as a freshman at Oregon State. Hit 46% of his threes from New Jersey. And knocks it down there.
See, I would continue to go inside and make the Cyclones defend the rim.
Burton rebounds the Motley miss.
Watch how wide and high those wings come out. You see where Ish Wainwright is. That opens up the corners.
Niang a good look at it. Couldn't hit. Talked about Niang and being scoreless against Texas Tech in the first half. Has not scored through just about the first 8 minutes today. And Maston will hit, the sophomore.
You think of Baylor basketball, you think of all the development of the big guys that have come through, going back to Quincy Acee, Epe Ugo, Perry Jones, Quincy Miller, Anthony Jones. Maston and Motley, both sophomores, John. We're going to see their continued development throughout this season.
(17-8) here in the early going, and Iowa State looking good offensively. What have you seen so far from Baylor in terms of their struggles at the offensive end of the court?
I think they've settled a little bit, John, a little bit too much on the perimeter. Remember, their first road game, they were down 24-4 at Kansas. And I think when you play against a team like Iowa State, you've got to try to establish an inside game. They don't want to foul. They don't have the depth. And so they're going to allow you to get some stuff inside, but you got to take advantage of it by continuing to throw it in there.
Now, tell me a little bit about, from a pace, what each of these teams are looking to do in this game.
Well, I think Iowa State, when you play at home and you're averaging over 80 points a game, you want to go up and down and play fast. Baylor, obviously, they don't mind playing fast, but their game is control the tempo in a place like this so that you can stay in this game.
And welcome everybody to Hilton Coliseum here in Ames, Iowa. Iowa State taking on Baylor, and it is 17-8. The Cyclones with the lead John Shambi and Fran Fraschilla with you. How are you? And nice to have you with us as we get a look at one of the top teams in the Big 12 in Iowa State. They can really score the ball. George Niang, one of the top players in the entire country. What have we seen so far in your mind, at least starting on the Baylor end, as they're struggling to score a little?
Well, I think when you play Iowa State, you have to get the ball inside, especially because that's Baylor's game. They have the size. They have Motley. They have Prince gathers inside, and I don't think they've established that yet. I think they've spent too much time shooting jumpers, and obviously 5 turnovers early don't hurt your cause as well.
Baylor is well a team that distributes the ball exceptionally well. In fact, they assist on 73% of their made baskets. That is third best among major conference teams. So even with their top 2 assist guys leaving last year, O'Neal and Cherry, they're a team that distributes the ball, and that's what leads to their baskets.
And that tells me that they ought to be more patient and try to establish that low post game, because they can get the ball in there.
So the early going, Iowa State shooting at 53%. Just 1 out of 6 from 3. Cyclones basketball, 11:44 to go here in the first half.
Good defense. They switched out. Very good defense by Baylor.
And out of bounds, Paul Jansen right there on the call. Scott Drew wants to be Baylor basketball. He's letting John Higgins know it.
I think John Higgins helped out on the call. Let's watch it. And I thought that hit Deontay Burton last, don't you think?
Yes.
And that's what Scott Drew's beef was.
Shot clock under 10. Clock winding down to the corner, and Thomas a 3.
Baylor, good job of challenging those threes.
Cook gets his foot on it. Hallis Cook, the Oregon State transfer, has already knocked down a deep 3 in this one.
Played his high school basketball for one of the greats, Bob Hurley Sr. out of Jersey City, St. Anthony's. I said to him, if you played for Bob Hurley, you're basically ready for the Navy SEALs program.
Shot short from Maston. Thomas, catch and shoot. Got it. Coming off a 22-point performance against Texas Tech.
I'll tell you, John, he's not only red hot, shooting nearly 50% behind the arc lately, but he has become a great defender as well.
And Jake Lindsey fouls Monte Morris before he could really get a full head of steam.
That's a smart foul by the freshman, because he's probably not going to utilize all 5 fouls today. This is a 6'5" point guard. If you are a Baylor fan, he looks like the spitting image of his dad, Dennis, who was a terrific player at Baylor back in the 80s, and now the general manager
of the Utah Jazz.
Jazz. And I like this kid. He's tough. He's a 6'5" point guard. He's athletic. He's going to end up being a very good player in Waco.
Burton launches. That 3 is short. Deontay Burton, we saw him against Oklahoma have a great game. Nice look up ahead as Motley throws it down off the feed from Freeman.
Motley just went rim to rim, and Freeman led him perfectly.
Burton off the feed, flips it up, shot contested. Baylor locking in a little bit more defensively. Here's Freeman, left hand, that's good.
Sweet.
Nice move.
Well, you see what he did with the shot blocker? He took it to the other side of the rim, and McKay was in jail. He put McKay in jail.
Used the rim to protect himself. Thomas. That was from far. Lindsey goes to the basket. Shot blocked. And then that one flipped up and in. 2 more for Jonathan Motley, having himself a real good first half. That's 8 for him.
How about the activity on the offensive glass by the Baylor Bears? Something that's been in their DNA under Scott Drew, and the sophomore from Houston really active. You know, when I had some big guys like Jonathan Motley, John, sometimes I was worried about foul trouble early in games, so I would say, hey, watch the first 3 or 4 minutes, watch the rhythm of the game, then we'll put you in.
Baylor on a 7-0 run. Your coaches are always worried, you know. You're always thinking of the negative stuff that's going to happen.
You look in the dictionary under negative, you see the picture of me when I was coaching. Always worried about what could go wrong.
Yep. Niang. Well, that glass is totally full.
Yep. Nice inside out versus that zone by McKay.
First 3 points for George here today. Under 9 to go here first half.
Hey, John, Baylor's got 3 losses, but to all teams I think are going to be in the NCAA tournament. This is a good basketball team.
And that one goes through the hands of Lindsay. Over and back, and the 7th turnover on the Baylor Bears. Scott Drew, his 14th season as head coach at Baylor, and what a job he's done to resurrect the program and to raise it to a level. I mean, 5 NCAA tournaments in the last 8 years, to the Elite 8 twice.
It seems like a long time ago, but it's turning out to be one of the greatest rebuilding jobs in college basketball history when you think of where Baylor was after that scandal in the early 2000s. Tough shot, tough shot. You know what Baylor's done? Can you tell what they've done to this arena, John? Kept it very quiet.
By the way, for Taurean Prince now, got himself 1,000 points in his career. Good lob, Nader the dunk.
Such a luxury when you have a great point guard in Morris, but you have a secondary point guard in your big guy, Niang. I'd post Motley.
Yep, Motley turns around and able to hit the baseline jumper. He has been good in the early going. And Motley now with 11. 4 rebounds to go along with it. Niang, they get the block. And they wanted a tie-up on the Baylor side. We always say so long to those of you who've been watching us on ESPN News. We'll be on ESPN2 when we return. Actually became the head guy there for 4 years. You have a story, though, for when he was at Centenary when the going was rough.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere, John. He took the job. We've all been through this. Took the job, no salary, meal card at the dining hall, and a room in the basement of a dorm. They called it the dungeon. He was in the office so much every single day simply because he hated to go back to the dungeon. So he became a guy that worked from 8 in the morning till midnight, and it's worked out well. Certainly worked out well for Billy Kennedy, and his assistant has gone on and has done some great things in his young career.
Certainly gotten out of the dungeon, that's for sure. Taurean Prince the bucket. 6-point game. Under 7 to go here in the first half.
Key to this zone offense is just keep your eye on where Niang is, because Morris is the point guard out front, but Niang can play anywhere on the floor in the zone.
Okay, and a really good look at it. Now Prince takes it away. Good hands there, and Iowa State the takeaway. This is Niang. He's hoping for a flip back and a 3 from Mac Thomas, but he was guarded.
Medford posting Niang right in the middle. And see, there's been a lot of contact between Medford and Niang. That foul didn't need to be called, and by that I mean the official should have said something to both players a couple plays ago, like, hey, we're watching you two, knock it off, because the next guy's going to be called a foul on. That's what happened. Medford picks up the foul. He's got to go out of the game with 2.
So Medford sits with 2, and Medford obviously in the middle of that zone. They're undersized at 5'10", facing Niang, who is 6'8".
And you say, why is he playing there? Well, because it's a 1-1-3, and one of the guards is always responsible for the foul line area.
McKay inside, now the kick out, and they're going to travel on Nader, a turnover. Well, a reminder, in 2 days on ESPN, you catch the College Football Playoff National Championship game, and that's presented by AT&T. Heisman Trophy winner Derrick Henry and number 2 Alabama taking on Clemson. The Tigers undefeated. It's tuned in on Monday, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN.
I think it's great. New Georgia coach Kirby Smart, still the defensive coordinator at Alabama. He's recruiting for Georgia. He's trying to win a national title for the Tide. And come Tuesday morning, he'll be the full-time coach of the Bulldogs. Nice look.
Thomas kick up. McKay, Monte Morris get banged down to the ground. And that foul is on Lindsey.
And now both
that's
point
number
guards.
2.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Both point guards now with 2 fouls.
Take Lindsey to back up to Lester Bedford. So we'll see how Scott Drew elects to handle that. But here's the guy that leads their offense, their conductor, if you will, out of Flint, Michigan. Of course, in the offseason works out with another Flint great, Mateen Cleaves.
Yep, he's a product of Beecher High School. He won a couple state titles for Mike Williams. Good player. You know, I don't know if he's the best point guard in the country. You compare him to Chris Dunn, some others, but as a quarterback of a team, for what you want your point guard to be, he's as good as there is running a team.
Prince a 3. Thomas the board. Thomas now. Monte Morris. Morris picking up his dribble, flips out Niang. And then a kick inside. I think they may have gotten Lindsey. That's number 3. Indeed it is. All right, so Fran, you talk about quarterback ratings when you're isolating point guards. Tell us about the math.
Well, this is my FQB, John. You take their assist plus their assist turnover ratio. You add them together, you got an FQB. Now you look at those guys. Some of them are well-known, very good players like Chris Dunn, obviously. James Robinson from Pitt having a good year. But the whole point there is these guys get their teammates involved, and they do it in a way that doesn't hurt the offense because they value the basketball.
So distribute and take care of the ball.
Yep.
There's Rico Gathers with his first 2. Remember, Gathers, he averages a double-double. That's his first 2 points, and he's only got 2 rebounds. Good look inside. McKay, shot blocked.
They almost got a technical right there, arguing with the official going back.
And there's Medford knocking one down. All of a sudden, a 2-point game. Iowa State's won 30 of 31 here at Hilton. The only loss in that stretch in late February last year to these Baylor Bears. And Prince stepping on the baseline out of bounds. And it will be, or no, got him for a walk. And out of bounds it will be. Iowa State basketball.
You watch right here, just a couple steps, and Jerry Pollard right on it.
Break of the action. Iowa State all of a sudden up by just 2.
I'm Doug Kazarian. Coming up in the Land Rover halftime report. Ben Simmons and LSU looking to start 3-0 in conference play. Miles Simon will break down the freshman's play and 2-possession game, by the way, at the O-Dome. And another Play of the Year candidate, Melo Trimble, delivers the dagger in Madison. See you at halftime, fellas.
All right, Doug, Miles, look forward to talking to you at the half. Right here, 4:26 to go first half. Iowa State and their fans happy that the home team is ahead. But Iowa State up by 2. They led by as many as 12 in the early going.
New rule this year, John, any timeout taken under like 30, 4:30 and under, 8:30 and under, that becomes the 4-minute TV timeout. One less timeout as well by rule, and I think the games are moving along quickly.
McKay gets fouled, and he'll go to the line. Yeah, time of game has been shortened by in the neighborhood of about 4 minutes.
Yep, and so as I circle this, you see there's 4:19 on the clock, but we've already gotten to the under 4-minute timeout.
And I know I've asked you this before, but just to restate it, you haven't really seen much change as it relates to the shot clock going down to 30 seconds.
Not at all. The average possession is somewhere around 19, 20 seconds, and 30-second shot clock, plenty of time to work an offense, spread the defense. There's been no effect at all, I believe, on the games. By and large, I think the officials have adjudicated the games well. The games are more cleanly played for the most part. Not in all cases. And the fact that the games are moving along quicker, I think, is great.
Freeman, that's a three. Thomas tracks it down, saves Niang, saves Nader.
Looks like hockey right there, clearing it behind your own goal.
Thomas can't ask for a better look than that.
Yep. This kid right now, I'm telling you, he's playing at an all-conference level the last 6 or 7 games. Nearly 50% from three, and it coincides with the absence of Naz Mitrou-Long, who's going to redshirt this year.
Thomas plugged into the starting lineup when Mitrou-Long decided he was going to shut it down as he tried to recover from off-season hip surgery. Both hips just wasn't feeling right. Thomas, over those last 7, look at that, 49%.
But don't forget, John, in the Iowa game where Jared Uthoff had 30 points in the first half, he did his Larry Bird imitation. Thomas held him. Primarily, he was the main guard in Uthoff to only 2 in the second half. And we saw him do a reasonably good job on Buddy Hield last Saturday. I think Buddy took 22, 23 shots to get his points.
That was a fun, entertaining game. Oklahoma eventually prevailing in that one. Motley kick to the side. Freeman couldn't hit. Or I beg your pardon, I think that was King of Pool. Niang gets a 3. So Niang with 6, and he's fired up.
I don't think you could guard him one-on-one. He does too many things well offensively. Inside, outside, passing, driving, isolating. He's got the entire offensive package.
A 7-0 run. One of the things with George Niang, it just seems like for him the game's really slow.
And that helps him because he's slow. Okay? But he's extremely cerebral, always thinking the game. And I say that as a compliment, John, and you make a great point about seeing the game slow down because nothing rattles him. Double teams, wherever they put him on the floor, he's very effective.
More college basketball coming your way tonight. ESPN, 8 Eastern. Jim Boeheim back on the bench for the Orange as Syracuse will take on number 6 North Carolina. You can catch that game streaming live on Watch ESPN or the ESPN app. North Carolina has won 7 in a row.
Jim Boeheim missed 9 games. I think they were 5-4 in that time under Mike Hopkins, but this is not a vintage Syracuse team this year, no matter who's coaching that club.
Prince goes to the bucket and banks it in.
John, I like anything posting or driving it at this team. Just watch the white jerseys as they cut through the zone. It's almost like a motion offense. Well, Niang was open on the baseline. There he is again.
Got a foul on Baylor.
When you play those wings really high, you basically have 4 green jerseys up by the foul line, so you have to attack behind it.
Let me correct that. Kick ball, so the shot clock at 15. 7-point advantage for Iowa State. Shot clock under 10. And Niang flips it up and in, but that will not count. Get the foul on McClure, his first.
King McClure, a terrific young player out of Dallas, and in June he was discovered with one of those things we've seen so many times, John. I can't even say it.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy.
Yeah.
There we go. That's us together, Jinx.
How was that? That was pretty good. Thanks for the help. And there was a chance he was never going to play again. Baylor's medical team jumped on it. He visited the Mayo Clinic twice. He was cleared about a month later.
One of the people that helped him was Monty Williams when he was head coach of the Pelicans. And the connection is that Tim Singleton was King McClure's head coach, played with Monty at Notre Dame, had him give him a call, and he said, you know, there are different forms of this thing. You need to get it checked out. I played in the league for 9 years with the condition.
Yep. Yeah, Tim and Monty both played for Digger Phelps at Notre Dame. I know Tim well. He's got a terrific program, AAA Academy.
And, you know, of course, remember the late Hank Gathers?
Sure. It's always a concern, John, when you put a young man on the floor. But 2 visits to the Mayo Clinic. He said there's a very low possibility, as you see Rico Gathers, who is a distant cousin of Hank Gathers, comes full circle. I like this kid. Jonathan Motley, you know, I've said this before, I think he's ahead of where Corey Jefferson was, who obviously has been in the NBA the last couple of years. Another one of those Baylor bigs that really developed. Coaching staff does a great job with big men.
Motley coming off the bench, but right now he's going to be their leading scorer for the 10th time in 15 games. Feed to McKay, out of bounds. John Higgins didn't see it. Says Jerry Pollard, help me. Jerry Pollard says, I can't. And then Paul Jansen says, yeah, it's out of bounds, and Baylor ball.
Well, that's good teamwork right there. Neither official had a good view. Paul Jansen from the other side of the floor saw it. I think they got it right anyway.
Did. Yeah. Got ourselves a good crew. John Higgins, Jerry Pollard, Paul Jansen. And Paul Jansen making that call. Closing on a minute to go. Good look inside. Terry Maston fouled. He'll go to the line. So 1:01 to go here first half. Iowa State by 6. Maston, a guy who's getting a chance to play a lot more. You see the minutes per game. I mean, he played 36 total minutes last year. So making that jump from freshman to sophomore year, figuring some stuff out.
No, it feeds right into that narrative we've talked about the, you know, everybody talks about Perry Jones being a high school All-American, but by and large, the guys that have come through Baylor have been self-made. You think back, as I said, to Quincy Acey and F.A. transferred from Michigan.
Let's not forget, they redshirted Motley.
Yeah.
Is a good example. And you see teams do that where guys will sit out a year, or it takes a while for somebody to develop. Niang flips it up and in.
Think he likes that jump hook?
It's pretty. There aren't too many guys that had that shot in their pocket. He makes it look easy.
Well, Lester Medford's been quiet today, hasn't he? 2 fouls.
Freeman spinning, step back. Tip, Nader, lost the handle. Prince fires. Motley, a big rebound over McKay, and he puts it in. That's 15 first half points for Motley.
He made McKay an offensive foul.
Indeed it is. They get Nader. Baylor ball, 4.6 to go.
John, Jonathan Motley makes Jameel McKay look like a 2-guard right here. Watch him bury McKay inside. He's going to go right up through him. If you're Scott Drew, you're ecstatic about the slow start and the fact that you're going to go into halftime in position to win this game.
Medford at the bucket, couldn't convert. And shot got deflected, and that is the end of the first half. Iowa State leading at 38-34, but Jonathan Motley, what a first 20 minutes. 15 points for Jonathan Motley. Time now, the Land Rover halftime report with Doug Kazarian and Miles Simon.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. Elsewhere in the conference, West Virginia playing its first home game since before Christmas, Miles.
Well, it's good to be back in their friendly confines up there in Morgantown, and they really exploded on Oklahoma State in the first half.
Jason Page as Mountaineers led by a dozen at the break. Javon Carter is 4 of 8 from downtown, and Nathan Adrian also getting in on the three-point fun. West Virginia tops the conference right now at 3-0. Welcome into Land Rover Halftime Report. I am Doug Kazarian alongside Miles Simon. All right, so Iowa State led by double digits. How is Baylor able to get back into this game?
Well, mostly it's been Jonathan Motley. This guy has 15 points in the first half. He's been dominant, forced down low, scoring points in paint, something that Baylor has struggled with recently.
All right, 7 of 9 in the first half for the Baylor Bears. Motley's keeping them in it. Iowa State, though, with the lead. Second half, obviously, coming up. And much more on the Land Rover Halftime Report. Mello Trimble, Maryland, Florida.
This halftime report is presented by Land Rover. Above and beyond.
Iowa State senior George Niang leading the way for the Cyclones with 9 points. Iowa State up 4 at the break. Winner of this one moves 2-1 in conference play. This has been the Land Rover Halftime Report.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Volkswagen.
Welcome back to Ames from Hilton Coliseum. First 20 minutes done. And Iowa State, number 13 team in the land, leading it by 4. Thanks for joining us here, everybody. John Chomby and Fran Fraschilla. Our first half, we look at an Iowa State team. On the season, they shoot 50% as a group, so you know they're loaded with weapons. And in the first half, what we saw was an offensive production that was really dispersed pretty evenly.
As it usually is, and that's how they play. They share the ball really well. You know, their go-to guy, as we've said oftentimes, is the guy that's open, and that's because Niang and Morris pass it so well. But Jonathan Motley has been anything but Motley in the first half, John. 6'9", 230 sophomore, runs the floor, playing more physically around the basket. You were right. You mentioned that he redshirted, so this is his 3rd season. But 15 points in the first half, career high for a half, and you and I saw the career high for a game a year ago when he dropped 24 on Oklahoma. He's on that pace right now.
Well, Motley will start here in the second half. This is Niang, flips it inside. McKay. And then a travel on Monte Morris. So a rare turnover there.
You know, I don't know about you, but aren't you surprised anytime Monte Morris travels or throws it away?
Absolutely. You're talking about a guy that averages a turnover in his career about every 31 minutes.
It's like a Gold Glove guy committing error, right?
No question. Good look inside. Motley with 2 more, and that's 17 now.
See, they went to the big lineup. They took Ish Smith out, and that'll allow Prince to play the 3. And what that does, John, it makes the back line very long. Usually.
Motley trying to close on Nader, couldn't do it.
That's really important. I mentioned Abdul Nader, if he will get going offensively, this team becomes extremely hard to defend.
I'll tell you, Rico Gather's been very quiet in this game. And absorbed some contact, and he'll go to the line as McKay went flying by, and I think they got the foul on Niang, and he got hit in the face maybe, or maybe someplace else.
If you brush up against Rico Gathers, that is likely to happen. This is a big dude. I told you about the time he sweated on me. I was in a team huddle after a practice, and they were saying a team prayer. I made the mistake of putting my arm around his.
Around Rico Gathers.
Yeah, and it was after practice, and by the time we were done with the prayer, I needed a shower. So every time I see him at Baylor practices, I tell him I'm staying away from you. But he has become one of the great rebounders in college basketball. He originally committed to Steve Lavin in St. John's, but Baylor, if you think about it, Lace Darius Dunn, Tweety Carter, a lot of good Louisiana players, and his high school coach was Tweety Carter's high school coach, the first McDonald's All-American for Baylor.
Gathers, brilliant offensive rebounder. Thomas. Nader, left hand, wouldn't go, but he'll shoot 2 free throws. So Abdul Nader active here in the early going in his second half.
Made a lot of sacrifices last year. Abdul Nader was scheduled to start. Then Bryce DeJean Jones transferred to Iowa State, so he came off the bench as a sixth man. He grew up in Chicago, John. But yesterday at practice, I said to the guys after practice, I said, man, it's cold out there. And he goes, hey, yeah, coach, I'm from Egypt. He goes, it's never this cold in Egypt. He was born in Egypt and moved to Chicago.
Six-point game. I don't care where you're from. If it feels like it's -15, it's cold.
It's cold.
Man.
That's right. Cold today. See, why not go inside to Motley on Niang?
Well, gathers, misses, puts it back, couldn't hit again, and now Monte Morris. Thomas open look. And now Torian Prince. Prince trying to weave through traffic, absorb the contact and put it in.
That's smart move. Just go right at those white jerseys. They do not want to sit on the bench with fouls.
Well, that might have been a lob for a second, but instead it goes in. Niang saying to Jameel McKay, hey, what were you doing there?
Oh, he's so used to catching those lobs. See, this is what I like. Right there.
Medford. And Thomas the rebound.
How about Thomas pulling that ball away from Gathers? Another one of those traits underrated from Thomas.
Niang. Another three for George Niang. That's his third, and he's got 14.
Just give me another versatile offensive big man in America like him. Just tell me one guy. And I'm talking about scoring inside, outside, isolations, pick and pop, passing.
Oh, Morris came, got a piece of the ball, but some contact as well. And the foul on Monte.
Well, remember, John, we talked about Thomas averaging about 5 rebounds a game, and then watch Niang setting up as the trail big. And that's his wheelhouse right there.
The thing that makes Niang so fun in that spot, Fran, is that when he catches the ball, he is as likely to put it on the deck and go to the rim and blow past somebody as he is to whip a pinpoint pass to the corner and spot somebody up for a three, or as he is to knock down the shot that he hit.
Absolutely, John. And you know what? He can go by you both righty and lefty, as we see right here.
Look at that.
Come on.
And lefty.
Are you kidding? Come on.
Wow.
We see it every night in this league with this guy.
Too good, George Niang. Man. Timeout, Baylor.
You know what Yubi would say? In our league, he's as good as it gets. Come on.
Back in Ames, George Niang scored the last 7 for Iowa State, but he's doing everything.
Well, we see it every night in this league, John. We've seen it for 4 years. The passing, the scoring inside, the three-point shooting. Remember, you're talking about 6'8", about 225. And when you have to play him, who do you put on him to stop him? Because he can post you inside, he can take you outside. He is a veteran and a tough matchup.
And part of our Wendy's Wood Watch, George Niang, certainly a legit candidate for Player of the Year. Pretty good chance. And you'd say right now, you're looking at 5 All-Americas. 2 of them could be from this league at Niang and Heel.
There's so many good upperclassmen in college basketball this year that are going to be on those teams. And of course, Ben Simmons and Melo Trimble, 2 underclassmen that certainly deserve consideration.
It's unique to see teams like Oklahoma, like Iowa State, that are loaded with experience.
Oh, how about Kansas? How about Villanova? You know, how about Michigan State? Virginia's a veteran team.
Motley smacks away the Niang pass attempt. And they get a foul on Baylor. And here's what happened this past week. That triple overtime game 1 versus 2 healed with 46. West Virginia, a couple of road wins. They won again today. There's McKay with the dunk.
And Kansas is going to go. You see West Virginia, you get those 2 road wins. By the way, Jaysean Page coming off the bench for Bob Huggins all year, probably one of the best 6 men in the country. And John, if Kansas is to beat Texas Tech tonight in Lubbock, they will go into Morgantown on Tuesday night as the #1 team in the country with a sold-out WVU Coliseum.
That place will be rocking. Steve Prohm's got a great, as the T-shirts say, Prohm court advantage here in Ames. John Higgins, who's officiating today's game, officiated that game Monday night. He said that Fog Allen Fieldhouse was the loudest you'd ever heard it on Monday, that triple overtime game.
Well, you're looking at two of the great basketball venues. They're my two favorite in the country. I've been in virtually every, but Allen Fieldhouse, Hilton Coliseum, it's really hard to top the energy. And you know, the students aren't even back here yet. They'll be back on Monday. I like it. Nice.
Lindsey weaves inside and lays it up and under.
That's a 6'5" point guard, folks.
Offensive foul. So they get Nader on the bump. Baylor ball when we return. Well, tonight on ESPN, after number 6, UNC takes on Syracuse. Stick around, SportsCenter at night. Lots of highlights and breakdowns from both wildcard games, the NBA, the NHL, and a full slate of college hoops. SportsCenter tonight following UNC at Cuse. Back here, Hilton Coliseum, Baylor basketball. Yeah, we got ourselves a 10-point game in Ames, under 16 to go in the second half. John Shambi, Fran Fraschilla. Baylor trying to chip away at that Cyclones lead. Nader on Prince. Medford. Maston's pull-up wouldn't go. Motley, big board. And then Motley throws it away.
Yeah, he tried to thread the needle on that. That was a hard pass. Did a good job of coming up with that offensive rebound, but Maston not ready for it.
11 turnovers for Baylor.
Baylor staying in that 1-1-3 zone.
Niang tried to go up and under, couldn't do it. And then Medford feeding Lindsey. Back out Prince. Got a 3.
Nice job by Lindsey. He got stuck underneath the basket, just weaved his way out.
Good look. Oh, my goodness. Niang get a great look at it, and this time he gets fouled, but frustrated at a chance right in close for an easy 2, and he just said, my fault, to Monte Morris.
But you know what we saw about this? I saw him do this against Cincinnati. Look who gets the rebound. You got all those athletes, and he's theoretically not supposed to be a great athlete. He gets the rebound.
Went to high school in New England, Tilton, where he was teammates with, among others, Nerlens Noel, Wayne Selden. Good Luck Okinobo was also.
Yep. Now think about that. Good Luck Okinobo and Nerlens Noel, two great shot blockers. So he had to manufacture ways to get his shot off against those guys.
France catch and shoot. That 3 wouldn't go.
There it is.
Lob. Nader!
Yep.
Abdul Nader flying in for the throwdown. And the feed from guess who? Monte Morris.
What did we say about the weakness of that zone? The baselines, because the forwards are up. Good read.
For Iowa State, it's 17 assists on 20 made field goals here today. Niang. And Thomas the rebound. McKay. And he'll go to the line. All right, another look at that alley-oop.
Watch Nader's going to come into your picture. And because nobody drops back at the back of that zone. Perfect example. Look how far up the green jerseys are in the wings. And Maston got caught watching Morris. And Nader slipped right in there.
Last foul on Motley, his second.
You know, you made a great point earlier, John, about Baylor on offense. I think they're number 3 in the country, assists to baskets. On defense, they're the worst team in the country on assists to baskets. 74% of their opponents' baskets come off of assists.
And what do you think that's due to? What is it about the way they defend?
Well, I think part of it is because they do play enough zone, a lot of zone, that you can't really play one-on-one versus the zone. So the ball has to move versus the zone. But what perplexes me is that they play a lot of man-to-man too, and I don't have an answer for that.
Medford a 3. That's the Medford coming in, shooting 33% from the three-point line. He's been quiet here today.
He has picked up those early fouls.
Deontay Burton into the game for Iowa State. Quarter 3 for Hallis. Cook wouldn't go.
Another hustle play by McKay.
Monte Morris, mid-range jumper, no good. And now Baylor the other way. Lindsey.
Smart.
And a corner 3, Torian Prince, 14 points. Back to a 5-point game, under 13 to go.
Little deja vu from a year ago where Iowa State controlled this game until midway through the second half.
Jamil McKay was hoping for a timeout. Possession arrow favors Baylor. Well, one of the things with Baylor today, just 4 out of 13 from 3. When they beat Iowa State here in Ames, Scott Drew's team went 14 of 26 last year. You'd probably expect that if they're going to win this game, those 3-point numbers are probably going to have to get picked up.
Yeah, midway through that second half, John, they made 6 straight threes. It looked like it was going to be a coasting for the Cyclones, and the game just turned like that. Well, they tried to go inside. Nice little play there.
Bump and one. How do you like that? Terry Maston. He'll go to the line and a chance at a 3-point play. They get Burton with his third.
This is a short roll. This is what we call a short roll. That's where he catches it. Right there. Instead of rolling to the rim, they give it to him early, and that allows him to use a little bit of that agility the big man has. Really nicely done. And, John, we didn't call his name, I think, more than once or twice last year.
Yeah, really limited playing time a season ago. 3-point play, back to a 2-point game, a 9-0 run for Baylor.
And they've stayed in that zone all night, despite the fact that the Clones have done a reasonably good job, but defense has been solid.
Thomas. That wouldn't fall. No Niang on the court right
Big
now.
guy.
They get Motley inside. And he puts it in, and we are tied.
Jonathan Motley sprinted from end to end. Boy, has he been good. But it's been effort as much as talent.
11-0 run. Timeout. Steve Prohm. The Baylor Bears right back in the middle of it. They had tied this game up, down by as many as a dozen at one point. 58 apiece here at Hilton.
Doug Kazarian with a studio update. Undefeated South Carolina on the ropes. Vanderbilt's Nolan Kressler with the offensive rebound and putback. Vandy by 3 in the second half. Meanwhile, Big 12 country minutes away over on ESPN News. Buddy Hield in Oklahoma getting set to host Kansas State. Should be a good one in Norman. We're back to John and Fran.
All right, Doug, thanks. Jonathan Motley, Baylor, one of their good wins this year at home against Vanderbilt. Motley with a good game here, 19 points.
His career high 24 at Oklahoma, closing in on that.
Morris. That little floater goes, and Iowa State back out front. Baylor has never led in this game. Freeman's been super quiet. And I think they got Nader. They did. That'll be his third. Al Freeman with just 3 points. Averages a little over 13. He'll inbound.
He's a guy that committed to UCLA and Ben Howland and then opened up his recruiting to going inside right here.
It flips inside. And then the ball lost out of bounds. Iowa State basketball. Maston couldn't squeeze it.
Well, and what you see, John, from Iowa State now, once the ball's going inside, they're really collapsing their defense on those post guys. Mob.
Nader again.
I don't know about you, but anytime George Niang's got the ball 20 feet away from the basket, you said it earlier, you don't know whether he's going to shoot the three, drive it, or pass it.
Fun to watch. Maston, jump hook would go. Monte Morris comes away with it. Thomas gets it right back to the point guard. And now Niang. That jump hook, Motley the rebound. And Motley with a double-double. 19 and 10, his third career double-double. Make it 21 and 10.
Yep. That's what we call that short roll again, John. Instead of Motley screening and rolling to the rim, he rolls to an open area, and he knocks that shot down. Really impressive sophomore. But we keep watching his improvement over time.
McKay on Motley wouldn't go. And out of bounds, it belongs to Baylor.
John, take a look at look where all the Baylor jerseys are. They're all up near the foul line. So what does Niang do when he catches it? He knows Nader is going to be open along the baseline. And good simple basketball versus that zone. You play zone, you're going to give up something. Boy, how about Maston? How about Motley and Maston, the two sophomores?
Maston with 11 points. And back to even at 62 apiece, close in on the 9-minute mark.
I mentioned earlier, his high school coach, Chris Dyer, really, really good teacher.
Wow.
You know, George Niang ought to play three-card Monty because you can't find the guy. You never know where he's going to line himself in the zone.
He's got 7 assists to go along with 18 points and 4 rebounds. Paul Jansen and John Higgins over there. And I'm not sure what our issue is. Let's see if it's clock related. So Baylor basketball, 2-point Iowa State advantage here in Ames, Hilton Coliseum. John Chomby, Fran Fraschilla. Motley inside, flips it up and in. That's 23 for the sophomore.
You know what that was? A great post feed by Medford. He waited till Niang picked the side, and he threw it opposite of the defender.
Jameel McKay gets fouled. Believe they got Medford.
Do you remember what we said, John, in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game? Where did Baylor need to throw the ball? Inside. They've done a really good job in the second half, pounding it inside.
Yeah, specifically Motley. Motley and Prince have both been solid today. Motley's been excellent.
And how about Master? Pretty good as well, double figures.
And Nader gets bumped by Maston. And Jonathan Motley, just a sophomore shot blocker, and today 23 points, third career double-double.
Well, he doesn't start because Scott Drew has veterans that play ahead of him, a junior, 2 seniors. If you think about Baylor, and we talked about the development of all their big guys, name a Baylor player that's transferred. And they don't lose a lot of guys. They're very, especially the big guys. The big guys are very patient. You know why? They get better every single day going up against the Isaiah Austins, the Perry Joneses, the Epe Udos. It's kind of like a long line. It's like a football team that develops offensive linemen, John. They do a great job with their big kids.
Two-point game. Biggest lead for Iowa State's been a dozen. Baylor hasn't led. Medford, little hesitation and got fouled on the floor. Monte Morris picks up number 2. And it'll be Baylor out of bounds. 16 fouls on Iowa State, 7 on Baylor. So both teams will be shooting the rest of the way.
Well played game today. Good flow offensively from both teams.
Iowa State is a team that does not foul a ton. Medford, huge 3. First lead of the game for Baylor. Wow.
Same spot he hit a 3 to beat Vanderbilt, as you mentioned, early in the year, that left corner.
McKay inside, finds Niang off the glass, 2 more, and George has 20.
Well, the students are gone, so I think the adults understand that they've got to pick this team up. Little energy in here, John.
1 point Cyclone lead here at Hilton. Well, back here in Ames, and earlier today out in the campaign trail, Fran Fraschilla in downtown Ames. I mean, you know, the caucuses are February 1st. They're coming up. You could run for mayor.
You know, I love this town, and I've been blessed to be here a lot of times. And, you know, I just thought we needed to have a town hall meeting, John. You know, we got to make basketball better again. We got to make it great again, you know? People ask me what's wrong with basketball. I say nothing that can't be fixed. So
sure.
We were out on the campaign trail today, you know, and everybody's crisscrossing the state.
Basketball for the people.
Basketball for the people. We had a great turnout at Panera Bread, thanks to those guys. And well, we had 60 people show up, wanted to hear what my shtick was. And, you know, to me, if my, you want to hear my standard, hey, I'm for strong defense. We spread the wealth around on offense. Some people ask me about No Child Left Behind. I said freshmen should absolutely play if they're good enough.
Well, they came out to see you. They're coming out to see all the candidates in Iowa this month, that's for sure. Gathers almost lost it as he corralled it. And Niang comes away with it. 1 point lead, Iowa State.
Oh, wow. I think they're face guarding Niang right now. They got a little bit of a, they're either in man or a box and one. They're not going to let Niang catch that ball.
Morris, that was in and out. 7 minutes to go, 1 point game.
Keep your eye on that adjustment on the Baylor defensive end.
Motley, he has been the star offensively, and now Freeman. Good box out, and Jameel McKay comes away with it.
Let's find Al Freeman right now because he was face guarding Niang, and they're going to play man-to-man, it looks like. Maybe triangle and 2. 2 possessions in a row, John. Niang didn't touch it.
Freeman hanging, finds Gathers, who's fouled.
Nice adjustment out of the timeout by Scott Drew.
They get Matt Thomas on the foul, his 3rd. Scott Drew today hasn't gotten a ton out of Rico Gathers, one of 20 guys in the country that averages a double-double. He's as good an offensive rebounder as you're going to find anywhere.
Well, he is, and the numbers back that up. The thing with Rico that's always been a struggle for him is finishing around the basket. Certainly a great rebounder, but you see the numbers today, only 1 for 4, and a quiet night on the glass as well.
Again, a second cousin of the late paint gatherers who passed in 1990. But Rico set marks. He's the all-time leading rebounder in Baylor school history.
That's good. It's a triangle and 2 with the triangle on Thomas and Niang. So that's the 3rd possession in a row. Niang did not touch it.
Baylor basketball. The fans not pleased. Look at this.
Jerry Pollard right on it. They're really bumping. See, this is where you got to eliminate the contact in the low post because they're chucking Baylor's big man as he cuts across the lane.
Shot clock under 10. Freeman now being harassed by Thomas. Freeman pulls up. But his miss pulled down by McKay. Nader step back. Got it. And one. Abdul Nader. As Mitru Long loves it.
All that is one-on-one skill right here. And you love this footwork. In order to create the separation, watch the step back right there. Just enough room. And he shot that ball over Motley, didn't he? Or
he did.
Prince. Yeah. And so in order to get that shot up, he's got to step back and create that pocket of room to get his jumper off.
Abdul Nader's one of those guys as well. To me, when you stand around him, I don't know. He's bigger than you think.
Yeah.
He goes about 6'6" in that neighborhood and was able to get space with that length on that shot. And Nader having himself a nice day. He's got 20. And that one will roll home for Terry Maston.
You think he's confident on that pick and pop?
Indeed.
That's been his wheelhouse today.
Sophomore with 13. Thomas needs some help, and timeout Iowa State. A 1-point game here at Hilton Coliseum. John Chambie and Fran Fraschilla. Iowa State coming off a win against Texas Tech last Saturday. They lost a tough one. We did the game against Oklahoma, a game they certainly could have won. It was highly entertaining, went back and forth. They had a good look at the end of the game for Monte Morris.
Yep, and George Niang told me yesterday, you know, all the consternation about losing a road game in conference to a good Oklahoma team. If Monte Morris makes that 3, it's a whole different animal. And then Oklahoma goes to Kansas and plays the game of the decade in this league. So you talk about Baylor, West Virginia, Iowa State. Don't forget about these teams when you talk about the Big 12 Conference this year.
Here's some of the other biggies that'll be coming up. You'll have that game on Tuesday, that Kansas-West Virginia game. Right now set to be 1 against 17 as well. Well, Saturday prime, the 23rd, you get Maryland and Michigan State. That should be fun. Morris to the rim, lays it in. Off the feed from Niang.
I wouldn't even call it a feed, right? It was,
tipped it back to him.
Smart play. They're going pick and pop again.
Inside, Motley hangs and hits.
He carves out deep position.
The Baylor bench today outscoring their starters 40-32.
John, they're face guarding Niang. Lindsey is just not going to let him catch it, so it looks like it's a little triangle and 2. And look at Niang working for the ball. He hasn't had many touches.
Nader feeding inside, trying to find McKay, but it ends up with Medford. Lindsey can't finish. Motley does. A career-high 27 with a dozen boards to go along with it, and Baylor by a point.
John, the riddle Iowa State must solve is how to get Niang involved.
And they get a bump outside. Foul on Lindsey.
Watch Motley. The first possession we're going to show you. Look how he just buries McKay on the top side, and then he finishes. And then watch Lindsey. He's going to come up a little short. But what do we talk about Motley all day? He runs the floor. And when you run the floor for a big guy with that size and agility, you're going to clean up those misses.
6'9", 230, Jonathan Motley, sophomore off the bench. And even though he comes off the bench, he plays big minutes. And I don't think I'm out of line at saying with 27 today, he's going to be their leading scorer for the 10th time in 15 games for them. Iowa State still trailing by a point after the free throw miss.
Well, it looked like, see, Iowa State switching those ball screens so they don't get into the pick and pop. They're trying to get it to Motley inside.
Shot clock winding down. Medford got it.
Big.
Lester Medford with a huge three, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point game.
It's a triangle, John. It's a triangle and two on the guards.
Morris tries to answer. Can't do it. Medford the board. Medford pushing. Medford at the rim. Medford and one. Lester Medford. And Baylor, all of a sudden, the Bears surging ahead. The point guard steps back, knocks down the three, and he'll have a chance to complete the three-point play when we come back.
Doug Kazarian here with a studio update. Undefeated South Carolina in a dogfight at home with Vanderbilt. Sloppy play for the Commodores. PJ Dozier, the bucket. We have a tie game. 8 minutes to go. South Carolina looking to extend that undefeated record. Also, Xavier Rattan-Mays, preseason All-ACC first team, had 30 points in his last game. FSU at Miami. That's next. But first, an upset brewing, guys.
Yeah, indeed. 6-point lead for Baylor and Lester Medford at the line. John Chomby, Fran Fraschilla. And, you know, you look at Baylor on defense, the junk D against Niang. That's been a factor.
Triangle and two. Watch Jake Lindsey, the freshman. He's a 6'5" guard. He's working Niang, and Niang has not touched the ball very much, John, in the last 4 minutes. His last basket came a little bit under 8 minutes.
10-0 run for Baylor. 7-point advantage, largest of the game. Medford, his second career double-double. Both of them this season. He's got 15 points and 11 assists.
See, Prince is at the point of the zone.
Toss back, Nader a three. And underneath, I think they got Motley fouling Jameel McKay. They did. So Motley picks up the foul. That is his fourth. 2:55 to go.
If you're Steve Prohm right now, you must come up with a way to get Niang the basketball. And, you know, I thought about this with guys like Niang and Buddy Hield this year in the league. You better have a junk defense offense for these guys. I'm going to tell you, Buddy Hield's going to get boxed and one at some point during the season. Can
I ask you the ultimate fan-at-home second-guess question?
Yes.
Because the fan at home is going to sit there and say, well, why didn't they start in that defense?
Well, because you don't practice a defense like that very much. There's very few coaches that will play a junk defense as a base defense, John. Because if you have time to prepare for it, you can score against it. You throw it out in the middle of the second half, now you may have a potential problem.
Yeah, late in the second half, and it has been a problem, no question, for Iowa State. All of a sudden, they find themselves down 7, 2.5 to go. Medford wandering near the rim, looking for some help, needs some help. And 3 seconds is the call.
Yep, that's a good call. I think it was Masson was parked in there. He was expecting a shot by Medford.
Morris takes him into the front court.
Yep.
We'll see if they can get Niang the ball. He still has Lindsey on him. Morris flips it up.
Nice. You know what they did? They used Niang to screen the top of the zone. So both Niang and Lindsey set a double screen for Morris. Well done. That's coaching.
Medford crosses over. Off the rim. And rebound Iowa State. 5-point game.
See if they go back to it again. I like it.
Niang a three. That wouldn't fall. Tip back. Lindsay with it. Lindsay gets around Niang. And it's got a little helter-skelter here. Foul on Baylor.
Well, it's a good adjustment by Steve Prohm. Watch, we're going to freeze it, guys, as he comes off the screen. Freeze it right there. We got a double screen on the defender, and that allows Monte Morris to get in the lane. Really nicely done. Good adjustment by Steve Prohm.
Last foul is on Maston, his fourth. Maston with 4, Motley with 4, Lindsay with 4.
Big miss.
Monte Morris. Iowa State has missed its last 4 free throws in a row.
If I'm Baylor with a 4-point lead or maybe 5, I am going to use 30 seconds.
Gets the second 4-point game. 94 seconds left in this one. The Bears group, they shoot it pretty well. Prince step back. Got it.
Yep.
Tough shot, Torian Prince. 16 points. Thomas. That's a big miss right there, and then they foul Prince. Well, how do you like that? So Iowa State, who's won 30 of 31 here at Hilton, the only loss last year to Baylor.
Yeah, it's deja vu. This is a tough shot. There's that step back. You called it, John. Midway through the second half, Baylor went on that little run and reminded everybody at home that this happened last February. I'll tell you, if Baylor wins this game, the change to the triangle and 2 was the turning point. To that point, Niang was dominating this game.
Rico Gathers on the bench. Has not been a huge factor in this game. It's been Prince, Motley, and Maston as the threesome, plus the subtle defense of Jake Lindsay on George Niang.
Yes, and the other thing, I've watched Baylor a lot this year, John. Ish Wainwright is usually playing in the back line. They have gone back to what we've seen in the past, the 3 bigs with Prince as a 3-man, and that has made it tough to score. Right now they're in that triangle and 2 again.
Morris launching and hitting a 3.
Yep.
5-point game. Timeout Iowa State.
Monte Morris had to take that shot because Niang screened in and it was wide open.
What's it like on the receiving end of this? Take one more look.
Yep, watch how the defense goes under. See where Prince is? That's because Niang and Lindsay screened in. And I think Scott Drew would have given him that shot, but Morris makes it.
Pretty furious run by Baylor. I mean, when you get down to it, you're talking about a run by Scott Drew's team on the Iowa State side. They're going to be sitting there saying, weren't we just leading this game by a dozen?
Exactly what happened a year ago.
All right, in 2 days on ESPN, catch the College Football Playoff National Championship. And it's presented by AT&T, Alabama, Clemson, Monday, 8:30 Eastern Time. The College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T.
I want to hang out with Brent Venables sometime. You know, that guy's got Red Bull in his veins. He's got that defense playing at a high level. The former Kansas State linebacker. Played for Bob Stoops. How about that? Bob was his position coach. He left Oklahoma to take over that Clemson defense, and they'll be playing Monday night.
5-point game here in Ames. Jonathan Motley off the bench and leading all scorers with 27 points. The sophomore from Houston.
What you have right now is Medford is a ball handler. Lindsay is a ball handler. Prince, probably the 3rd best ball handler.
And here comes the crowd. They get it into Lindsay, lost his shoe. And then almost a turnover. It is a turnover. McKay the layup, he missed it. Niang puts it in.
They ought to stop the game so Lindsay can put his shoe on.
Wow, they get a foul on George Niang. I don't know about that call.
Yeah. Well, I honestly don't know what the rule is here when a guy loses his shoe. But once Iowa State scored, I would have blown it dead. Watch Lindsay. He's got one shoe and a sock, and there's the steal, the miss, and then Niang cleans it up. And take a look now. I'm calling that a foul. You got to call that a foul. There's contact there.
Okay. Lindsay at the line, 70% free throw shooter. He shoots 2 here.
Take a look, John. I think there's contact here. He just runs. Of course, that's a foul. It's actually an easy call to make.
Couple of good looks right there. I'm with you.
I just lost a lot of votes in Ames.
No, I mean, again, to me, live speed, it just looked like he knocked the ball away. But I think looking at the replays, yeah, there was arm-to-arm contact.
How about the job Jake Lindsay did? And now back to the veterans for Scott Drew.
Morris, offensive foul. And it'll go the other way.
Because of the defense, it's so easy for Monte Morris to get into the paint. He came off that screen again. And he's planted.
Right there.
Yep. Monte would have been better off shooting the floater.
Good job there by Ish Wainwright.
Well, if there's any Hilton magic, it needs to show up right about now.
Freeman almost trapped Wainwright, and they fouled. Wainwright, a 75% free throw shooter. That fouls on Thomas, and Matt Thomas is done.
Baylor trailed John 52-40 midway through the second half. They've got 46 points down the stretch of this game.
Matt Thomas, 8 points in the first half, scoreless in the second half. He is fouled out. Wainwright, 75% free throw shooter, 5-point game. Baylor, a good free throw shooting team, 76%.
Amazing. You look, you see 80s, 70s, even the big guys.
Got them both. The lead is 7 for Baylor.
They're staying in that triangle. Son of a gun. Change the game around.
Niang, contested 3. McKay pulls it down. Morris hits.
Got to press quickly. If you foul, try to steal it first.
And that foul on Hallis Cook. Freeman to the line.
Now, Iowa State is not what I would call a pressing team. This is a last resort right now. I doubt they're going to get great traps, so they do have to foul right away right now.
Last loss at home, February 25th of this year. And that was against these Baylor Bears. So Baylor, who swept the series last year, looking to do it to them again. And Baylor continues to knock down the free throws. Bears made 9 straight free throws. Deep from 3, Morris gets another. Jeez.
A one-possession game, so you got to foul quickly and just stretch the game out.
They get Monte Morris.
Morris, this is not his strength, but what is his strength is making big plays, and he has to shoot it because of the way Niang's been defended.
That foul on Morris, his fourth. So 20.4 to go. Double bonus both ways. Possession arrow belongs to Iowa State.
And that's another reason when you trap, you know you're going to get the jump ball if you trap aggressively.
It's a two-shot foul.
Now, you know how I feel about this. You've been with me a lot. You don't need a contested three. It's going to be a two-possession game. Take a quick one, unless it's a drive and kick to the open three.
Best quick look you can get, right?
Yep, best quick look you can get.
So a 4-point game. Morris at the rim, and it goes.
I like it. They got open down the floor.
And Niang fouling Freeman. So Niang picks up his third. The foul game continues.
Yeah, Motley and Prince were ahead of the field, but Freeman didn't see them. All you need is one miss here for Iowa State. They are out of timeouts, but they should have something in their back pocket for this situation.
Got them both. So back to 4. Got to do it quickly here. And then saved, and that's going to do it. Baylor on the defensive end seals the game. Great hands by Taurean Prince. And the Baylor Bears are going to go into Hilton Coliseum and pick up a win.
Yeah,
this is the big play.
Yep, I was surprised Morris played east-west there. He should have just gone right to the basket. But, you know, you got to give Baylor credit, John. They got blown out at Kansas. They got off to a very slow start here in probably the second toughest place in the conference to play, and they stayed together.
60 second half points for Baylor, really the story. Coming up, Florida State and Miami. Freeman gets 1 out of 2, but how about Baylor? 94-89 the final. Iowa State has won 30 of its last 32 here. Baylor's beaten them both times. That'll do it for Ames. For Fran Fraschilla, I'm John Shambi. Back to the studio and Doug Kazarian.